Every night at exactly 9:15 p.m., when the last elevator door closed and the final office lights dimmed, Rafiq stayed behind. The building stood tall in the center of the city, 40 floors of glass, steel, and ambition. During the day, it buzzed with executives, assistants, investors, and interns chasing promotions. But at night, when the echo of footsteps faded, it belongs to him. Rafiq was the janitor, a 59-year-old, his back curved slightly from years of mopping polished floors. His hands were rough, his uniform always neat. Most employees barely noticed him. Some nodded politely, a few didn't look at him at all. But every night, after cleaning the executive conference room on the 32nd floor, Rafiq did something unusual. He sat in the CEO leather chair, not for long, just 5 minutes. He would gently place his hand on the polished table, look out at the glowing skyline, and close his eye. Then he would stand straight the chairs perfectly and continue working. No one knew, not until the night someone saw him. Maya was a junior analyst who had recently joined the company. Young, ambitious, and determined to prove herself, she often worked late. That night, she had returned to the conference room to retrieve a file she had forgotten. She froze at the doorstep. There was Rafiq sitting in the CEO chairs, staring quietly at the city lights. His first reaction was shock, her second was suspicious. The next morning, whispered began. I saw the janitorial in the executive chair. That inappropriate. What was he doing is there? By lunchtime, the rumor had claimed floor faster than the elevator. The CEO, Mr. Khanna, heard about it by mid-afternoon. Instead of anger, he felt curiosity. That evening, he waited. At 9:15 a.m., an unexpected Rafiq entered the conference room with his cleaning cart. He wiped the table carefully, vacuumed the carpet, adjusted the blind, and then hesitantly he sat down. Before he could close his eyes, a voice spoke from the doorway, comfortable. Rafiq jumped to his feet instantly. I am so sorry, sir, he said, his voice trembling. I mean, not disrespectful. I only sit for a moment. I always clean everything again. Mr. Khanna stopped inside slowly. I am not angry, he said calmly. I just want to understand. Rafiq hesitated. His eye moved toward the window. When I was young, he began softly, I wanted to build buildings like this. I studied architecture for 2 years, but my father became ill. I felt I left university to work. There was no one else. He looked down at his hand. I never went back. The room fell silent except for the distant hum of traffic below. I don't sit here because I think I belong in your chair, Rafiq continued. I sit here to remember the boy who once believed he could design the skyline. The CEO did not speak for several seconds. Maya, who had unknowingly followed behind, stood quietly in the hallway listening. Mr. Khanna finally pulled out another chair and sat across from Rafiq. Show me something, he said. Rafiq blinked, sir. Tomorrow night, bring me something you have designed. The next evening, Rafiq arrived with a worn leather folder he had kept for decades. Inside were hand-drawn sketches, bridges, community centers, parks designed for neighbors and that didn't yet exist. The lines were careful, the idea thoughtful. They were not immature dreams, they were undefined potential. For weeks after that, Mr. Khanna invited Rafiq to share his idea. After hours, Maya joined too, curious and quietly ashamed for her early judgment. What began as 5 stolen minutes in a leather chair turned into something extraordinary. The company had been planning a new community project, a public learning center in a lower income area of the city. The original design were modern but Impersonal. One evening, Mr. Khanna placed Rafiq's sketch on the table. This, he said to the board, is what we are building. The room was stunned. But the janitor is someone whispered. Mr. Khanna reply was calm. He is an architect who took a different path. Months later, when the community learning center opened, a small bronze near the entrance carried a simple line designed by Rafiq Ahmed. On opening day, Rafiq stood outside the building. He had once only imagined from a chair he thought he didn't deserve. Maya stood beside him. You know, she said softly, I almost judged your dream. Rafiq smiled gently. Dreams don't disappear, he replied. They just want. That night, Rafiq still cleaned the conference room, but he no longer needed to sit in the CEO chair to remember what he was. Because the city skyline now carried a piece of his name, and everyone in that building learned something simple. A person's uniform does not measure their worth. Sometimes the quietest people in the room is carrying the loudest dream.